Welcome to the first 2025 podcast in London. I cannot believe that I'm saying this. Now, the sound might be echo. I don't even know. The walls are white. We're coming to you raw dog. I thought, you know what? It's better to start where you are than be perfect. It is authentic over perfection in 2025, and this is what it is. I missed you. I can't wait to talk to you.
Hello, world. Come inside the Dear Juju podcast.
Hi, how's it going? You guys, I missed you so much that I was like, you know what? I need wallpaper. I need paint. I need stuff to absorb the sound of the room. I need this. I need that. I need this. I need that. But this is the first week that my kids are at school. And I was just like, no, fuck it. You know what I mean? It's like when you're drunk, when you were single and you just called that fuck boy and you were like, fuck it. Fucking miss him. I'm going to fucking say it. So where are we? Good question. Last podcast, I actually shot it in the bar of my dining room is what I did. Now there is a guest bedroom on our lower level. I can see people's feet walking. Like this window, there's someone who actually just walked by. But it's a guest bedroom that I'm turning into my shooting studio and will also be a guest bedroom. It is so freaking cold here in London that I'm wearing a jacket as a shirt and then I'm wearing a fur vest on top. Honestly, I should be just wearing a full fur. How's your New Year's? How's it going? You know what? Don't buy into that New Year, New You shit. Buy into that New Year, renewed you. This is the most spiritual shit ever. You know how you can't just close your eyes and go to sleep? You have to act asleep, then the sleep comes. That is a natural state. This is what I've been into lately. Act and then the state will come just as natural as sleep. Relax into that state and know that it's yours. Okay, that's my little New Year, renewed you. Remember, you're renewed and you're remembering who the fuck you are. You are the universe experiencing itself as a human form. Okay, I've been very spiritual lately because how long have I been in the UK? This Friday will be 6 weeks. And I was like, I'm going to sell all my stuff and have a spiritual experience. That was not the spiritual experience. There's been a lot of moving parts. But the spirituality of trust and faith is what needed to come into effect, not selling my own stuff and controlling my spiritual experience. It's being at peace and trusting what you can't control. Oh man, and these 6 weeks we have experienced that to the max. And I'm like, I'm a dumbass. I should have kept all my shit because this is the real spiritual experience. And now I just have to rebuy my shit. I'm kind of annoyed at myself, but you know, such is life. Okay, so what is my biggest difference between my life in LA or the US and here? You guys, you know the Target sign, how it's a circle with a dot in the middle because it's like a Target? It's not a Target, honey. It is a chokehold. I had no idea the power and the reliance that I had on Target. So we're setting up a new house, right? We also need like diapers, I need deodorant, wine glasses, candle, plates, a trash can, trash bags, detergent, strawberries, bananas. Like, you have to go to a grocery store to get groceries, then a plate store to get plates, then a trash can store to get, like, you guys, I have been missing Target so much. Target would absolutely kill in the UK. There's TK Maxx here. There's other big box stores. Like, Target needs to come here and rule the land with all its, like, even something as small as like my daughter outgrew her pajamas. And I'm like, well, I get all her pajamas at Target for the soft cat and Jack ones. I had no idea. That was the first thing. Number two, the walking. This is a walking city, kind of like New York. The buses are amazing. The trains are fantastic. They're clothed. There's no like crazy person screaming bloody murder. You can actually go on the train as a woman at like 10, 11, 12, 1 a.m. at night and still feel safe. We are purposefully not getting a car because I want to make sure that I keep this walking lifestyle. Now, there's a person biking that just passed. Now, biking is really big in West London where we are. And we had to be in West London because of my husband's proximity to the studios. You get up, you walk the kids to school, you walk home. You walk to the grocery store, you walk home. You walk to wherever you need to go to get on the train to go where you need to go. Then you walk back to the train and come home. So walking. And when these past 6 weeks, we have just done a debaucherous amount of food. We've been eating pasta. We've been eating bread. It snowed yesterday. It's freezing. You got to drink alcohol to warm up. So we have just been having a copious amounts of things that aren't good for us. And guys, I've gained 2 pounds. That's it. The food. And I'm not talking about like the food, like the actual recipes. I'm just talking about the no hormones, the non-processed stuff. They still have processed stuff, but for some reason it's different. I don't know what they're putting in our food over there, but it's different. I'm gonna let you know how I know for sure, besides the 2 pounds. If you're squeamish or you're eating, get ready, because we talking about Aunt Flo. We talking about my periods. When I got here, it was my time, okay? Flo came to town. Flow was a natural flow. And as a 41-year-old woman who works out about 4 to 5 times a week, I'm going to tell you how my flow's been for the past 10 years. I have Paragard, that's a non-hormonal IUD. So for the first 3 days, she's brown. I don't know what that means. Probably progesterone or estrogen or testosterone, some shit, some hormones. Brown for a couple of days. And then I bleed, nice and good for about 4 solid days, 3 to 5, something like that. And then, she starts to trail off. So I had that when I first got here. Then I had a month of eating here, a month of just like cleaning out my system with all their foods. I had my period, let's say, a week ago or a week and a half ago, and it was my first English period. It was so dramatically and vastly different because of the hormones or non-hormones in the foods. First of all, when I wiped, you know how it goes, like, oh, I'm about to start my period. You wipe, you go, oh, flow's about to come. I was like, oh, I got a good 2 or 3 days before. No. She came right away. She was bright. She was red. She felt healthy. She felt intense. And then, this is the TMI part, so get ready for it. There were little, I call them pearls. Think of like a boba, okay? Like a small little boba. Of course, I Googled it because I'm like, every time I went to do a switcheroo, I saw these pearls, these little red pearls of like little boba. And I had to Google like, what is going on? What are those pearls? And supposedly it's my cervix clearing out. I have had my flow for 28 years and never has it been this different ever in my life. Even after having babies and having that hormonal change, when I first got it, like it was so dramatically and vastly different. And I think it's because of the hormones that aren't present in the food here. I don't know what it is. The pasta, the breads, you feel like you can eat it and it doesn't blow you out or give you all these dysfunctions that you do at home. Everyone says it. I've felt it when I've come on tour, but now I'm living it. It's really different. I can't wait. I'm on a little bit of a antidepressant, anti-anxiety, Lexapro, 5 milligrams. Even the doctor here was like, 5 milligrams. Why are you even taking it? I'm like, I'm sensitive to prescription, and it's just enough for me to go up, just enough to like whatever trauma bond happened when I was little to reroute those neurons. But I can't wait to get on their pills here. See what that's like. See if their prescription pills are kind of cut different too. You know what I mean? And I even asked the doctor. He was like, yeah, they have the same medicine, but it's in a different vehicle. And I'm like, well, everyone says that if you get on Lexapro, that you gain weight. So I'm like, I'm excited to get on their Lexapro and see if I can drop these 15, 20 pounds I've had ever since my babies. We'll see. When we first got here, we got some kind of virus. We were sick in the Airbnb and we got like a condo style Airbnb. Now at the condo complex, they were working on the outside. So they had all this scaffolding and they had walkways on the outside of windows, even though we were like in the 3rd or 4th story. And they were painting the outside of the molding. We are sitting there, we're all so sick, sicker than shit. We basically watched TV for like 2 weeks straight because I needed my kids to be stimulated but rest. It was just awful. And wouldn't you know, one of the hottest guys I have seen since being in the UK was just a construction worker on the outside of my window for those 2 weeks. I have something for construction workers. When I was dancing with Mariah Carey in New York City, we were staying at a building and there was a construction worker across the way and I yelled to him, hey, and we actually met downstairs. He was so cute from far and then up close, he was so ghetto and ugly. And I was like, oh, I just want to say hi, bye. And then I left. That's when I was single. So I still have a little soft spot for a construction worker. You know, they work with their hands. That's what I love about my husband too. Like when he comes home, he smells sweaty, like he's been setting up gear and like just, oh, I don't know. It's just a men at work, just splooge alert. Okay. So he was working and painting the molding. And every morning he'd be like, hello, good morning. No, none of the other workers said hi. And I'm like, good morning. Now, the old me, the single me, because I've done this before. If that scenario would have presented itself, I would have absolutely been just gallivanting around in a little teddy and a gorgeous flowy robe, had my hair and makeup on, and literally flaunted it until I got it. I'm gonna tell you a little story. Bossa Nova is a Brazilian restaurant that used to be in Los Angeles. There was this delivery boy from Brazil that was hotter than shit, okay? And he used to bring me my rice and my beans. Ooh, now I'm craving Bossa Nova. Let me tell you what I would get at Bossa Nova. I would always get the breaded chicken. Beautiful, Milanese style, flat but still juicy with the breadcrumbs perfectly crisp. And then what they have on the side is yucca. Yucca is from the yucca plant. It's a root. They grind it up to almost like a breadcrumb consistency. Then what they give you is pico de gallo. Then they give you black beans and rice. This is what you do because I've dated a few Brazilians in my time. You take the white rice, you dump the black beans on it, you dump the pico de gallo on it, you dump the yucca flour on it, you put some hot sauce, you squeeze some lemon, and then you give it a toss. So I used to order it all the time because I lived down the street from this Bossa Nova. So one day I open the door, right? Boom. The most beautiful tan, but you know how they do in Brazil. They're tan, they're buff, they're tall, dark, and handsome. And he's like, hi, I have your chicken Milanese, in his Brazilian accent. I can't do it, Portuguese accent. And I was like, thanks. And I grabbed it and I was like, so every time I ordered Bossa Nova, I would look super hot in case the delivery guy came. So I think he came 2 or 3 times. On the 3rd time, I was like, okay, I'm ordering it and I'm just going balls to the wall. I wore a little teddy, right? Which is basically like a silky one-piece bikini. And then I put a robe on top of it. My hair was all blown out. I smelled good. I had it on. I had it popping. So I opened the door and it was him. And I was like, this is my moment. And he was like, oh, your chicken Milanese, you know. And I was like, thank you. And I said, question for you. Would you want to come in? Right? You have to take it off a little bit off your shoulders if you're watching along. And he came in, because obviously he was feeling the energies, okay? He dropped it. I jumped up, wrapped my legs around him. He slammed the door. We started making out like crazy. Threw me on the couch. You guys, it was so hot. So I always have this thing with like workers, dentists, construction workers. I don't know what it is. I didn't let him have it because, you know, he's a delivery boy. You know what I mean? It's just like, to get in here, we need to see a resume. You know, we need you to be of a certain caliber. You can't just get in here being a delivery boy. Now that I'm in my 40s, I probably absolutely, she doesn't take any resume. You just get looser, I think. Your guard goes down the older you get. And speaking of, my husband the other day done laid it on me. We have kind of gone through it these 6 weeks. A lot of things changed and we went through it a little bit, and it always bonds us when we go through it because it's like, you're my motherfucker, you know, like you're my man and I can rely on you and trust on you and we can go through hard things together. And it's really sexy when you can just depend on someone and go through hard things with them and have it still be as solid and you could still be attracted to them. It just does something for me. I feel like it heals my trauma, to be dead damn honest. Now, with all that, let's get into some domestic goddesses, shall we? Cooking. When in Rome, do as the Romans. When in England, do as the English. Every day, well, not now because I'm trying to lose weight, but every day for the past 6 weeks at 3:00, I've had tea time. I've had English breakfast tea with a little bit of milk and honey. And then I've had a scone, a basic scone with clotted cream. I don't know why we don't have this in the States. It seems so luxurious that Americans would eat it up. So clotted cream, when you get it in the tub, it's basically on the top, it's flaky. Okay. In the middle is a little more like a butter consistency. But then underneath, it's more wet than butter. I have no idea what sorcery they are doing to clotted cream. I want it all over me. I want it all over my body. I want to suck it off my husband's knob. Like, I am obsessed with clotted cream. Clotted cream is a thick cream made by heating full cream cow's milk using steam or a water bath and then leaving it in shallow pans to cool slowly. During this time, the cream content rises to the surface to form clots or clouds, hence the name. It is so good. It's like butter, right? Like butter is basically cow's milk churned a bunch, but this is a different style of butter, the way they heat it. It's absolutely fantastic. It is sorcery with jam on a plain scone and English breakfast tea. And it's also good because that English tea kind of gives you a hit of a little bit of caffeine in the afternoon too. I am obsessed. Cocktails. Since I've been here, this is the land of the gin. Hello, this is my land. So I have been into filthy, wet, disgustingly salty martinis. Let me tell you what I'm doing, and I'm actually going to post this soon. I do about 2.5 ounces of gin. Then I do a splash of vermouth, a splash of olive brine, splash of pickle brine, some blue cheese crumpled up, ice. I shake it. I strain it to make sure that there doesn't get any blue cheese in the frozen coupe, of course. What else? I've been making these Italian olives that I have down the street. I've been putting blue cheese in that, putting it on my stick, popping it in. Then I drizzle it with olive oil. Now, if you have that with Torres, Torres, pickled chips, amazing. And then I would add some creme fraiche and some caviar to those chips. To me, that's the perfect meal. And then I would finish it off a glass of Prosecco. Divine. So that's been my cocktails. Decor. Oh my God. What am I not into in decor? I have to decorate a whole house. I have 4 floors. 4. I always decorate in like blues and greens. That I feel very comfortable in. I always love it. My eye loves it. It's my favorite. But I think it's really important sometimes to switch it up and see how you can decorate in other colors. So I'm really excited to do like a red, green, orange kind of living room to see how I like that. I think as long as you add in black and white, it'll refresh it. Like it'll make it like a good contrasting palette. So I'm so excited. Now, I would normally here get into some Q&A with some T&A, but most of you guys think I'm on hiatus, so we don't have any Q&As for today. But if you do, make sure to write in or DM me. DMing me on Instagram is always the best. I'm pretty sure like most of you all, we all kind of talk to each other because, you know, we besties. Thank you for watching this first episode, Raw Dog, because it's literally nothing and we're going to build it together. Don't forget that you're a star, okay? You are not you. You are the universe experiencing itself in a body form. You're made of the stardust. You're made of the universe. Just detach who you are and just know that your inheritance is abundance and greatness and stardom. It's what you're meant for. It's what you're made for. You, right now, you believe it, own it, walk in it. Do something. Remember, like sleep, you got to act to sleep before you go to sleep. So you got to act it and then the state will come. okay? And we want it to come all over our tits. I love you. Cheerio from London. Mwah!